All right. Hello, everybody. At the time of recording, it is still unknown if Charlie Kirk is still alive or not. I'm going to operate as if he's probably not because I saw the footage, and from where he was shot, being a medical professional and on top of being in the military, it seems like it's probably not likely. So, my condolences and respects to the family. I'm making this video for a couple of reasons. The very first is he's a fellow Illinoisian. He was from Arlington Heights. He went to a school that my ex-wife went to, and did not know him personally, but I've been aware of him for a while. All the stuff going on. Sorry, I'm getting eaten alive by mosquitoes. I did this outside because I don't really have anywhere else to do shit. God damn, man. Fuck off. I'm like really getting eaten. Anyway, so I want to pay respects to him because it's unfortunate what happened. Two, because there's a lot of people on both sides of the political spectrum who are going to utilize this for their advantage. And unfortunately, I'm not really any better. I'm going to be doing it as well. And you're going to hear about it in a second. Thirdly, also, and I, again, hate to have to do this, but this is to personal benefit to me. Because some of you may be aware from my prior video, I am facing 3 Class 4 felonies for unlawful aggravated carry in the state of Illinois. So, before these mosquitoes fucking eat me alive, let's get into it. I am very, very sick and tired of the other side of the spectrum basically pushing for all these hardcore gun rights restrictions and red flag laws, and basically saying that people on a spectrum that's similar to where I'm at should not have firearms, and that we are dangerous to have firearms, and to want firearms is a sick, twisted mentality. When the last few times we have had someone prominent be assassinated, or an attempt assassination, has been of the hemisphere politically that I'm more closer aligned to, committed by those who have been pushing the gun restrictions and red flag laws, and all of the other things like a background check that should prevent those people from gaining access to a firearm to begin with. It's extremely hypocritical and really does nothing but devalue your argument entirely. Because they always say, well, how did this person get access to a gun? Well, it's because the federal background system that you force us to implement is inundated by thousands daily who are trying to become responsible firearm gun owners or criminals. It's that simple. You're one of the two. And it may surprise you that even though I'm more aligned with the first, being a responsible gun owner, and most of all of my firearm purchases have been legal in one state, currently I'm on the criminal side because of how this state specifically, the one that I've returned to, the one that I was born in, is restricting my abilities to be a lawful, peaceful, abiding citizen. So, we need to take stock of everything that's been going on in the political sides and realize both parties are fucking wrong and atrocious for utilizing this for benefit, but recognize the system is inherently flawed. The people are obviously flawed. So how do we fucking remedy the situation? Well, it's by being basic, compassionate human beings. I don't give a fuck what your political spectrum is. We saw a man be shot, basically on publicized television. You can look it up right now, and almost all of them still show him being hit and blood pouring out of him. How fucked up is that? This isn't entertainment. This isn't a fucking TV show or a movie. This is a real-life human being who most people are very aware of, potentially dying on fucking live television. And you have people who are praying for Charlie Kirk because most conservative people, most on the Republican side, are religious, but they're using this as, you see everything that we're talking about? All the fucking shit, why we need guns, blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, man, of course we fucking see, but is now the goddamn right time? Pay your respects and move on. Second, you have the other side who is literally saying, this is what you get. This is what you wanted. You deserve this. No one deserves to fucking die except those in power. Okay? And the reason why they deserve to die is because they've been abusing their power. They are tyrants. tyrannical on both sides of the spectrum. We'll get to that. Going back into it. So you have both parties trying to utilize this as some sort of publicity thing. And again, I freely recognize that that's unfortunately what I have to do right here, right now. But I'm being transparent with you. And I'm hoping that most people can kind of take everything that I'm saying, realize rationally something is fucking wrong. And use best judgment. And also get engaged in your community and start making positive, forceful change. We'll get back to that in a second. This comes fresh off the heels of another extremely brutal attack that, I mean, again, very publicized, very aware of. A woman riding a bus or train or what have you, getting brutally stabbed to death with bystanders watching in fear, if not in shock. And then the person potentially just walking away. Yeah, they caught him, but he has an extensive criminal fucking history that should have never allowed him to be there. And me potentially facing a minimum of 3 to 9 years federally, or not federally, in Illinois, but with felonies, is what I meant to say, is fucking baffling to me because I have zero criminal history. Actual zero. The thing that happened to me in 2008 or 2009, whatever the fuck it was, got expunged so I could join the U.S. Navy. And it was a fight in school. The other thing was dropped from the state itself. It was what's called noli prosequi, which means, hey, all these charges, we, the state, instead of charging you, are dropping. So no party whatsoever was involved. It was the state. So you're going to tell me I'm going to go fucking face jail when someone who's had a documented history of violence and unstable behavior was able to get on a train, bus, or what have you. Sorry, I don't need to know all the specifics. I saw a fucking video of something that should never be seen in normal civilization. That's something that happens in a fucking movie. But no, we get to see it. Just like we get to see Charlie Kirk. What the fuck is going on right now? Both sides are at fucking fault. But one side in particular is using the situation way more advantageously than the other, and it's starting to call to question hypocritical values. You propose one, and then think you're above that once it's instated to the people. How can someone who has criminal intent be able to purchase a firearm? And then you're going to go and tell me that I have to follow all these same laws and restrictions when someone was able to waltz through the fucking system and show you how broken and fucking untrustworthy it is. We have the advent of trans shooters. And yes, there's been enough of them that it is a serious concern and rise. We are seeing liberal, left-sided violence increasing. And yet the right side is increasingly called fascist, tyrannical, and dictatorial because we just want the ability to fucking defend ourselves. And God help us if one of our spectrum, I say our because again, that's what I'm more closely aligned to, not what I actually subscribe to. What happens if they go and do something? All of a sudden, all those gun laws, all those gun restrictions, red flag laws, hey, they're not working enough and we need more restriction. I'm going to make a small side tangent here that all correlates to everything I'm talking about. I'm going to fucking explain to you, but I want you to use critical thinking and follow the logic that I'm establishing before I spill everything to you. And no, this is not to increase views, to make you sit through the video longer. I don't get paid for that shit, all right? This is fucking free out of my own time. I literally came home from work to fucking do this, all right? But e-bikes, okay? I'm looking at getting an e-bike right now because I'm not allowed to have a license in this state for a mistake I made when I was 20 years old, and I'm 33. 13 fucking years. I got caught driving without insurance, and I have to pay SR 22. I was given false information and little to no information for years, and that's why I still don't have my license. And I said, fuck you, fuck all this, I'm not complying with something that to me seems extremely morally corrupt, on top of basically unlawful. But because driving is considered a privilege and not a right, the states have complete control how they function with it. Cool. Fuck you. I'm not following, not doing it. Not going to operate a vehicle in this state. I'm going to get my license when I move out of state again, like I should have the first time. That's neither here nor there, but the point is, e-bikes right now are supposed to be categorized in 3 classes. All right, I'm not going to get into the specifics on that, but basically, a lot of vehicles that are coming out now aren't even realistically e-bikes because they're capable of exceeding those 3 classes. They don't fall in one of those definitions. So what do people want? They want more restriction under the guise of safety, which in reality is going to lead to an increase of taxes and revenue. Okay? That's how this system operates. That's how the government is operated. That's what our founding fathers literally fought against and then had to reinstate 10 years after we fucking won to pay war reparations to the soldiers who fucking fought for freedom. E-bikes are whatever the fuck we want them to be. We're sacrificing, I should say, because it is a sacrifice. We are sacrificing our rights and freedoms so another higher entity can restrict and regulate them under the guise of safety. Well, I don't want my kid to be able to ride something that's able to go 60 miles an hour. Hey, dumbass, why the fuck did you buy that for your kid? Oh, because you're an irresponsible parent. I have to pay for your fucking irresponsibility. Don't come at me, well, you don't have a kid, you don't know. You know what? It's not hard to do a quick Google search. Hey, which e-bikes only go the legal limit, 28 miles an hour? So now you're going to have further increased restrictions under the guise of safety, which isn't doing anything because the people who want to be irresponsible, aka your fucking kids who you haven't been a parent to, are going to fucking kill themselves or get other people injured anyway. So now, people who need alternative means like myself, because the state has regulated under the guise of safety, restricted my freedom, so now they make more money off me. I have no way to fucking travel, short of Ubers or bumming rides off people. How is this all connected? Because this is what's going to fucking happen, okay? You're not going to have a sudden realization from the right side of the hemisphere say, hey, you know what? We need to just let everyone have fucking guns. Because that is the answer. And I'll spoil how that's a fucking answer shortly. They're going to be like, you know what? All these policies, everything that the left has done, we need to revise, and we need to make sure that these systems work effectively. Now, the left side is also going to be like, see, this is what happens when you don't have further gun restriction. Motherfucker, this had nothing to do about gun restriction. This had everything to do with someone who disagreed with another human being, and instead of having rational, logical arguments or discussions, this parasocial fuck decided to end the life of another human being. Like, that has nothing to do with a firearm. If he could have got up to him and stabbed him with a knife, he would have done it. If he could have fucking detonated an explosive charge from a mile away, he would have done it. The point was, he was not mentally capable of doing these things. Instead, he relied on his emotional outbursts, pussy-ass fucking mentality, and killed someone. So the left is now going to want further fucking restriction while criticizing us. Well, this is what you got. This is what you voted for. This is what you allow because you want everyone to have guns. And the right's going to have to concede that, hey, we lost one of our own. We got to fucking reevaluate. That's not the fucking answer. The answer is people should have been fucking armed to stop that son of a bitch, or at the very least, get on-site retribution. Not revenge, not vengeance, retribution. Retribution is the equity of revenge. Do as is done. That man shot Charlie Kirk, someone should have shot that man. Fuck due process. Fuck him getting arrested. What is a trial going to prove? Do you have evidence? Did you see him shoot that man? There you go. What the fuck do I got to prove? What do I got to spend 6 to 9 months and millions of dollars of federal fucking money to prove something? Well, because, you know, Americans have rights and citizens and blah, blah, blah. Okay, you know what? Again, regulation under the guise of safety for taxation. That's what it is. So the federal courts could get more income and revenue. They have to hold a trial for public safety. Regulation under the guise of safety for taxation. Enough, man. It's fucked up. This needs to be a shining example of what is absolutely wrong with this country, and I'm going to give you all the fucking solutions right here, right now. 1, allow fucking guns everywhere. I don't give a fuck, all right? Your feelings mean 0 when everyone is a fucking potential victim. Look at the woman who got stabbed. Look at the kids who were going to a fucking school. Look at Charlie Kirk. It doesn't matter where you fall on the spectrum now. There's a lot more bias. Seems that left side is kind of doing a little bit more work. But you know what? I'll take a step back and I'll recognize the right side's done some stuff too. Has it been recent? No. But you know what? a lot of people are very afraid on the left side about what's happening with the right side. I was having this conversation with my father on the way home from work. They are worried about a regime, and that's why they are emboldened to act the way that they've been. How fucked up is that? That one side believes there's an actual regime in mind that they have to rebel and be violent against. I live in Illinois. The National Guard may come to Chicago, a city that I spent half of my life in, and was the whole reason I had my fucking felonies, by the way, because I took my motorcycle into Cook County, and even though I live in DuPage and got caught here in DuPage, that's the reason I brought a gun with me. Is because this fucking city is corrupt, mismanaged, and fucked up. I've seen it. I've experienced it. I've been fucking stabbed. I've been mugged. I've been held at gunpoint. All in the time that I've lived in Chicago, or been in Chicago. There's a reason I do the things that I do. But I'm the fucking villain, right? Because I want to defend myself. So, when you have major things happening, how do you possibly defend yourself? With the Second Amendment. The thing that has been given to us as a right. Not like driving, being a privilege that's able to be restricted by the state. This is an inalienable right to maintain your right as a human being. The same things that you're able to pursue, the pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness. That is equatable. Your ability to own a firearm. So everyone has started having guns. College campuses have fucking guns. Armed security guards. Okay. How does that bring back Charlie Kirk? How does that bring back Iriana? I hope that's her name. How does that bring back the kids who were shot? You know what? When there's a potential chance that you could fucking die for the action you're about to commit, that's a deterrent. I didn't really get the whole mutual assured destruction concept in the 60s all the way up to basically now. But you want to know something? I'm pretty sure the whole reason why the world's still turning is because at any fucking point in time, when Russia are trying to decide, hey, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to take over America, I'm going to hit that nuke button, they were sitting back like, oh, well, we're going to get nuked too. Is enough of us going to survive where we could like take over and do stuff after? It's the same concept. Now, we shouldn't have that with something as crazy as nukes. But think about the Wild West. Think about how humanity has thrived. I've not acted upon you because there's a chance I could fucking die. And if there's not a chance I could die, there's a chance my family could fucking die. So there's preventative deterrence when everyone can own a firearm. Second, you know what? People die. It sucks. We as humans should strive to be better and make the world a better place, an easier place, so everyone has a level of equity, if not equality. But that's not how reality goes. So if Charlie had to die, that shooter should die. Ariana had to die, that guy who stabbed her should die. Trans shooter should fucking die. Okay? That's retribution. That is as done as it was. As is done. That's it. It's black and white. There's no perpetuation of hatred. There's no continuation of revenge. That person committed a crime and was caught for doing it and utilized human justice. It doesn't have to be up to the courts. It's up to how the world fucking operates. Kill or be killed. Survival of the fittest. How are we straying so much further and further away from that? Well, I've explained it to you. Regulation under the guise of safety for taxation. So, now we all have guns. Then what? Investment in your community. Hey, guess what? There was a need for Charlie Kirk to be over at Utah's college campus. People requested him to be there, and he made time out of his schedule and his day to fucking participate. Now, apparently there were some signatures and enough people who were like, you know what? I don't want him here. Okay. Freedom of speech. First Amendment. And in order to keep that amendment, you have your Second Amendment. To make sure at any point in time you had the ability to speak freely. So, there you go. Even if it doesn't cause a deterrent effect, and there's retribution, you can't shut down the entire world because someone says, I don't like that. That's the safety starting to prevent, or to be pervasive and twist the whole system. That's what's led to the corruption. I don't like this, so I'm going to file a motion to prevent that from happening. So now they're using safety to create regulation, which restricts your freedom and usually costs money to do it. So be invested in your community, all right? Listen to the people around you. If the community is saying, hey, the reason why we want Charlie Kirk here is because he speaks to us. Well, guess what? Now it's ratio. Is that the majority or the minority? I don't know. I don't live in Utah. I could tell you this, though, as an Illinoisian, and talking about a fellow Illinoisian, most of the state is red. Most of the state has been red for a long time. It's one county, Cook County, which holds Chicago, that is blue. There's little pockets of blue everywhere else, but that's the core demographic. I got news for you. Chicago is the fucking minority. And they know it. And that's why they're afraid. And that's why they're doing all the shit that's on fucking track for why the National Guard are coming in. We're not going to get into that. It's pretty fucking obvious that most of Illinoisians want the National Guard here. Because this shit needs to fucking change. I am tired of having to come into my own community, having to be armed because I came from a different community that's unfucking safe. That's why I got arrested. That's why I'm facing these charges. Not because I'm a fucking gun nut. It's because I valued my life. And I run a nonprofit for veterans, and I'm unfortunately in situations where I have to network and go fucking be in places. And I'm going to be armed doing it. It sucks. So you've twisted my own community against me under the guise of safety through regulation and taxation. So if there were enough people who want Charlie Kirk to be there, suck it up. You're the minority. Become the majority. Be invested in your community so you're talking with your neighbors. Hey man, are you really sure you want this guy here because XYZ? Don't be fanatical. And don't come at it like you're Charlie Kirk Jr. trying to fucking give you your analytics and data. Have a fucking normal human conversation. That's what people are missing from this. People don't know how to be fucking normal. Look at this. Look at this video. Is anything that I've said come off as fanatical? If it has, let me know. Because I think I'm basically having a conversation. Yeah, it's pretty much one way, but I think I'm laying out arguments in a logical standpoint that's not really attacking either side, other than pointing out the flaws of the system. And again, I'm no less guilty than either sides of the spectrum, or news outlets, or social media, but I'm transparent in telling you. I have to do this. I have to do this for an Illinoisian. I have to do this as someone who believes in our fucking rights. I have to do this as someone who calls out the problems and flaws with our fucking communities, our societies, and our government. And I do this because I have a felony case pending. Sorry. It needs to be said, it needs to be explained. So now you're engaged in your community. Well, guess what? Community is literally the counterpoint to fanaticism. When you have people invested in you, you don't feel like you're alone in this isolated bubble where you're only connecting with people 1,000 miles away because of your fucking TikTok or your goddamn Twitter. I could have this conversation with anybody in my local neighborhood because I'm a proactive part of it. Because I run a nonprofit for veterans in this fucking county. And one of our membership park districts is here, where I live. That's why I got into it. So I could help the people I fucking know and grew up with. Maybe it's a small bubble, and maybe my sphere of influence is substantially lower than a man like Charlie Kirk. But I'm invested, and I care. That's why I do the things that I do. And to make this kind of a bit more empathetic and humanistic, English is hard, that's what Charlie Kirk was doing. He was taking those big isolated pockets spread across the entire country, just trying to unite them all together. And you know what? As fucked up as it is, that person who acted and shot was probably on the other end of that. They were trying to be their aspect. But it's fanaticism. It's extremism. It's not investment in your community where you're fucking working together towards a mutual goal that benefits you. It's one individual, their mentality, becoming pervasive. That's it. I hope that doesn't come across like that. Obviously, I'm utilizing the tools at my disposal. So, okay, hey, I'm not happy about it. This is public speaking, and this is what I do for my job. This is how I network, and I fucking get funding for my fucking nonprofit. So I'm sorry that you have to be subjected to it, but you clicked on the video, and I'm not even making any money out of it, so fuck you. That aside, where the fuck do we go now? well, this is going to be the dark part of the video. This is going to be the part of the video that's going to get clipped and taken out of context. This is also the video that I'm going to be transparent again. I'm going to make a short out of. I'm going to be fucking upfront. Retaliatory strikes. Easy day. If one side of the spectrum is going to get away with it for so long, I think it's the time for the other side to make that shit happen too. How? Well, retribution, equal, equity. If something has been done to a political figure on one side, there you go. Obviously, I have to be careful with how I say things because it could be misconstrued that I'm advocating for violence. Well, full disclosure, I am advocating for violence. I'm not calling out a specific target because I don't have fanaticism. I don't think there is a singular fucking target. I think, if anything, it's the entire fucking spectrum. Not just the spheres. It's both sides. You guys are fucked. You got to figure it out. When I said the only people who need to be fucking put down are the people in power, yeah, I stand by that because the entire system's fucking corrupt. Clean it all the fuck out. Get some new people in. Let's figure this shit out. Start from the ground up. Start from your local community. Reevaluate from the way up. It's not hard. It's who wants to do the fucking work. Well, I got a fucking challenge for you. Because it seems right now, all the fucking people who are similar in my mentality are just standing by, letting the fucking people who are the pussies, who are the weak, who are not going to be capable. Dude, they're pretty capable, man. They fucking just killed, like, a political figurehead. They've, at the very least, demonstrated their desire and want for violence. Well, they fear us because they fear true violence. That's not real violence. That is someone capitalizing on a situation. I'm a veteran. I did not go to war. I did not deploy in a combat scenario. I have not experienced combat whatsoever. But through being in military, working at a VA, and running a nonprofit with veterans, I have heard direct accounts of true violence. That's what the one side fears. That's what our side is capable of. So we should start demonstrating it. Black and white. Retribution. Equity. Do as is done. I don't think a protest is going to fucking do shit. I think an armed uprising would make substantial more headway. But again, what are you targeting? What is the goal? This is why we sit by, unlike the other side. They think protesting works because, hey, there's a big show of people. What are y'all doing? You're just fucking talking. You're doing what I'm doing, but there's a couple of people who agree with you. Versus the other side, standing idly by doing fucking nothing. You know what you have to lose. You just lost a political figurehead. You just saw what could potentially be your wife or your fucking daughter get stabbed. You just saw your kids potentially be a fucking target. No one is safe. And that's what I want to emphasize here. No one is safe, whether you're on the left or the right. The only way to keep things equitable, where everyone potentially has a chance, is by utilizing the fucking Constitution and the amendments within it. Let everyone have fucking access to firearms. Let everyone have access to free speech. Stop restricting and regulating that under the guise of safety for taxation. It's not hard. It truly fucking isn't. What's difficult is people don't want to have to risk being arrested, being killed, losing their families. And you know what, man? I get it. I don't even have those things. And I truly 100% get it. So, at what point does that line get crossed that bothers you? I was thinking about that today, right? And I'm going to end it on this. I said, well, maybe I didn't say, but you may have noticed that there's a ring on this finger. Yes, it's a tattoo. I'm divorced. Very recently divorced. And I can tell you right now, if the National Guard comes into the city and my ex-wife calls me, I'm going to be there for her. Because I spent a long period of time of my life with her. I still love her and I care for her to this day. And I will. That's why I married her. Despite all the shit that happened and how much we fucking hate each other recently. Because that was a fucking oath that I swore and I took. And I take all my oaths very seriously. I signed a blank check that was payable up to and including my life. I swear to do no harm. And I swore to love this woman eternally. I don't care what reason she's calling me. I don't care if it's from the armed guardsmen or the fucking gang members who think they're fucking big because they got switches. If my ex-wife calls me, I'm going to be there. And if anyone gets between me and my ex-wife, I will cause great violence upon you. I will do it with a smile on my fucking face. And I may die for it. Those are the oaths that I swore. That's the line you would have to cross for me to get to where I need to be. And I've just established them. So why don't you look inside and tell me what your cross line's going to be? Because it's only going to get fucking worse. And the only way to prevent it here, now, is what I fucking outlined for you. Let everyone have their fucking guns. Get invested in your fucking community. Stand by your morals and decisions. And at any time those things get corrupted or taken, you take them back with equal force, equitable force, retribution. Be safe. Hope this fucking world figures itself out.